You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat, I
looking at
don't
the
know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
fastest
boils
rising
over
star
like,
in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you just the fuck up real bad.
Shut up.
What's up, wrestling fans? It is the Heel of the Ring podcast. I am the host, the Don of the Watch Along, BX Sport Jedi Kev. And tonight, my partner in crime on the channel, the chef, the main man, Chef Dan, and Terrence. But let's go first to Chef Dan. Salute, Chef Dan.
Salute to you, Jedi. Salute to you, Terrence. Salute to the world's most famous chat. Oh, yeah. Nah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great after a great show of Smackdown. I can't wait to break it down with you guys. But over to Terrence, man. How you doing?
Yo, I'm trying to say, Chef Dan, the Don, acknowledge me. What's up? What's up? We in the building.
Yeah, you.
Let's go.
Let's go, Terrence. What a splash. We'll have more people coming in. Will join us. We'll probably get the Samurai a little bit soon in a minute. We'll probably get Charles in, and we might get the Big Pete. So our watch along soldiers, the main man here, let's get right into it. It was the SmackDown 1200 episode of SmackDown from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. To start it off, we get the baddest woman in the planet, Ronda Rousey, come in here. Ooh, she was not in a good mood. My God. Chef Dan, tell us what we saw there. Oh, my God, from the meanest woman in the planet.
The baddest woman in the planet feels that she has been wrong all the way through. She specifies that she has been wronged by Adam Pearce. So she paid her fine last week. She said she will not leave that ring, will not refuse. The show won't start until Adam Pearce comes down there and just lifts the suspension on the baddest woman on the planet so she can go back to doing what she does, kicking ass in the ring. But that wasn't what happened. Adam Pearce out of nowhere, like he comes out, he has the security guards out, he's trying to be, amicable, political, but Rowdy Rousey wasn't going for that, man. Any security guard that stepped foot in that ring either got booted out of there or got their arm cranked to potentially get their arm broken. That was the type of time that Ronda Rousey was on. And that kind of continued until Adam had no choice but to involve the Canadian authorities. They had to get the Mounties to come and arrest Ronda Rousey. We don't know what's going on here, man. We got to address this, Jedi. How I don't like that look, man. Cut back to that picture one more time for the people in YouTube. That's Ronda behind bars. Now they let us know later on throughout the night that they didn't press any charges and that she was later on released, but that's the baddest woman on the planet behind bars. We didn't appreciate any of that, man. I mean, at least I didn't. Jedi, you got to tell me, man. How'd you feel on that?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. To see her, she said, I love the fact he goes, I pay my fine, now reinstate me. And I love the storyline because let's face it, I'm going to put this around, send it around in a round robin. Ronda Rousey as a face sucked. Now, as this heel, you're living up to the persona of the baddest woman on the planet, and I love it because as a heel, it's working. I want to say hello to Samurai, who's joining us. Salute, Samurai. How you doing? And we'll go to Terrence. Terrence, let me know what your thoughts on Ronda Rousey.
Man, so I was able to keep up with much of it, as much as I could, but from what I heard and what I saw a little bit, it's pretty much like to a T, like Chef Dan just explained it. So it was a hot start to SmackDown. SmackDown hasn't been like this hot in a while. And just this whole storyline, like I have to admit, like she was a little boring, but now she's like starting to like kind of be a little bit more intriguing with the storyline. Especially leading from last week when she just came out and just dumped the money on the table and just like, all right, I paid my fine. Now let me go back. And it's kind of leading back to, you know, Adam Pearce trying to tell her that that's not how it works around here. But then she, you know, forces his hand and stuff like that. So this entire storyline so far, it could bomb, but so far, I'm enjoying it though.
I just want to add on to that. Personally, what you were saying, Jedi, about how, you know, her being a face, it sucked. And the crazy part is watching this development of Ronda Rousey's character, she's not necessarily a heel either. She kind of falls in that vein of a Roddy Piper. She falls in that vein of a Stone Cold Steve Austin, an Eddie Guerrero. Those type of characters. I'm not saying, you know, she's of the magnitude of those characters, but when you really look at all three of those people that I've named, it's a common denominator in them, is that their character allowed them to go face or heel depending on what the situation was day to day. They ended up being the hardest working people because they helped carry on rivalries amongst some people, sometimes either as faces or as heels. So you kind of, it's a nice tweeners phase that they have her at, where it's you know, you can just be a badass. And in today's day and age, a badass doesn't necessarily mean you're a badass who's on the opposing side of the law, but a badass doesn't also necessarily mean that, you know, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's just, they have her in this perfect position right now where they're developing her character to where she can be brash, she can be rude, and it can either be looked as disrespectful or as her being the coolest kid in the you know, in the lunchroom. And that's the either direction she can go. And when you have her in that direction, it's perfect. The only way she can, like, the only thing she can do is win. So that's where I love seeing there. The only thing I would just, you know, would want to see more of from Ronda is that more practice with the microphone work. Because with this, like, she had a great moment where she was about to threaten Adam Pearce and everything. It's just that in the midst of her talking, she took a break for an unknown reason. It kind of just broke up the dialogue. So it didn't deliver as cleanly as as most people would have wanted to. But other than that slight hiccup, the entire crowd was in love with Ronda Rousey. And it's just crazy. A crowd who I think not even a week ago, 2 weeks ago, they were telling her to shut up and things of that nature. And she threatened one of the crowd members, say, hey, I'll break your arm. Your mother didn't teach you to talk that way. And it is continuing on this mean streak, and I love it. So it's a beautiful development in the character of Ronda Rousey.
I agree. Samurai, you're there with us, Samurai. Okay.
Samurai in the building.
The Samurai. I don't know.
Is mic
working? Mic check. Is this on?
Hello? Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
what's going on? Yes, we can hear you. We want to make sure that you're
okay. Hold on.
We want to make sure you're with us. Oh, he's no longer with us. Okay, so my goodness, this is what happens when you allow ham and eggers on. You know what I mean?
It's either that or he's pulling a carrying cross routine, you know,
promo
and then a disappearing act.
Yeah, there you go. Good one there. Now, and I think, me personally, Terrence and Chef, I think wherever we go, and let's see. It's
Hello.
okay. Are you alive? Are you with
Okay.
us?
Yeah.
Hey!
That's what's up.
Yo,
Welcome.
what's up?
Happy Friday. Happy Smackdown Friday. We were talking about Ronda Rousey, her heel turning here, or tweener, anti-hero. And now I personally think is wherever region of the country she's in or crowd is where she's going to get either pop or heat. Because remember, outside of the certain United States, part of the United States, she's a worldwide star with the MMA. Remember, she's one of the top drawers of MMA of women card. She forced Dana White to put them as a main event, her fights. So she's got a lot of pull in that area. But I think it's wherever region, you're going to have your live lovers who wants her to get over. And you also got your anti-Ronda that you're like, ugh. And the wrestling purists don't like her with the wrestling skills and the microphone. But the draw attraction of the entertainment value, I think, is what draws people and want to see more of her. Samurai, give me your thoughts on that segment because we didn't hear it because I want to move on to the next one because I'm ready to bust for the next segment. But tell me about Ronda Rousey real quick.
Well, I mean, honestly, I agree with Chef Dan over here. She's more like a tweener more than a heel because like she's not really delve deep into that heel persona yet. So we have yet to see her as a heel. So I kind of think that Chef Dan's right.
All right. Now we see her get carried away. The last image out as the vehicle leaves the arena. We see a beautiful Yukon, a big, beautiful Yukon rolls in as the police car goes the other way. But before the Yukon gets there, did anybody acknowledge or seen the cop, the police, Teresa Blanchard there? Or Teresa or Teresa? Tessa.
Tessa Blanchard was the cop.
Was the cop? Is she possible? You think she's going to be signed to the WWE here?
I mean, I kind of hope so because, she's not doing anything right now.
And a hell of a woman's talent.
Well, yeah. I mean, I noticed it. I don't think anybody else noticed it, but I didn't see anything about it on Twitter or anything like that. So.
I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm not too familiar with I seen her immediately, but I saw the name. I started reaching, and I know about her. I saw a couple of matches, but I didn't recognize her with the bulletproof. I guess with the bulletproof armor, she looked heavier, but she's not. That's just the clothes making her look bigger.
Show that picture again?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Tessa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, she was there, and now as they go away, I don't want to just acknowledge that the tribal chief comes out in the Yukon.
Sure.
Now, earlier in the day on Twitter, the Usos said they were taking some time away just for rest. They were overworked. But I have a little bit of a tidbit on that. I think a lot of the wrestlers couldn't make the trip to Canada, but we'll break that down for reasons why. He's alone. No wise man. Supposedly off camera for a little bit with that bump because he's been elevated to a higher position in WWE. So it was just Roman Reigns alone. I wanted to see where we were going to go with this with Roman Reigns alone. It's good he actually made the trip to Montreal. It was good to see that. Roman Reigns, I've been critical. If you're not going to be seen more often, drop the title. So I think they're putting that pressure. The new management, we got to see more. Even if you don't wrestle or take the bumps, we got to at least see you to do some promos, some segments. And if that's the way they're going to do it, I'm okay him extending his title run. Chef Dan, what's your thoughts on that?
It's a thought that I had watching SmackDown overall, and it's something that I agree with you 100%. Like, if you aren't going to be on the shows as much, it would be better for you to relinquish the titles because it makes no sense to have a champion who doesn't show his face. And so with that, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be in the ring all the time, but this was something that I'm gonna speak to later. But I remember just me growing up watching SmackDown. One of the best things that SmackDown had was the in arena behind the scenes promos where they would talk to someone, they would promote a fight, you know, while they were in the arena. They may not have a match or not, you know, they may have a match or not on the card, but they are in the arena. They're cutting a promo. It takes up a good amount of time, and then you can use that to, you know, help push some messages through. They've kind of slowed that down a little bit on SmackDown, so it was something that, you know, if Roman Reigns isn't going to be wrestling, at the very least, I would love to see him cut a bit more promos, at least in arena promos, and there's a way that they could present it. But you're absolutely right.
You're the main. You love the tribal chief, rightfully so. Pick the right guy to go put all your fandom on, and your thoughts, because if he's not, I like the fact that he's showing himself to cut promos, or are you okay to wait his original work relationship maybe once in the blue moon, part time? I know that Brock Lesnar did the same thing, but give me your thoughts on that.
Look, I understand, I understand what, as far as like the non-wrestling related, Joe, as his real name, has to do like at home and take care of his kids or whatever. Not necessarily take care of them, but just be around them a little bit more and family-wise. So, I get that part. That's my boy. I understand that. But, like, I have to go with your sentiment, like you said last week, or NXT or whenever it was, as far as Roman, just like, if he's not going to be wrestling, all right? If he's not going to be wrestling, at least do more of like what we saw tonight, like just a little like backstage segment with somebody like with Sami Zayn, and just to like be there and kind of further the storyline a little bit, So if he's gonna be there like that, I'm gonna acknowledge him anyway, and it's just my guy. I'm biased, but to break it down though, as far as just that wise, it would make more sense to still keep the titles on him going forward.
Yeah, I agree with that there. Samurai, give me your thoughts there with the tribal chief on the same subject. With him doing his work schedule less or more, or do you want to see more promos where he's not in the ring, and just seeing him on SmackDown? Give me your thoughts.
Samurai is there. He disappeared.
He disappeared, so testing. So we'll see.
Well, I mean,
see him later. We'll move on. Yeah,
he's coming back.
Sure. He'll be back. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties. Let's move on here. We see we'll see what happens with the tribal chief. We're going to see him later on tonight. Not just two more times, which is good. No problem with it. But then, ladies and gentlemen, with boys and girls, before SmackDown went on the air, we had a message from the new vice president of talent relations, in Michael Hickenbaum, better known as HBK, the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels says, "Don't kill the messenger." He giving us a message that due to the heat wave match between Mandy Rose and Zoey Starks cannot compete tonight due to a knee injury, and Nikkita Lyons was not physically able to compete as well. We have new replacements, and who? First against Sonya Deville and Natalya, and all of a sudden, and their opponents, we get attraction. Because they can't let us play the music, so we have to do a little solo action. I jumped. I was excited because, of course, everyone that knows myself, Terrence, and one day Chef Dan, when we get him here to the beautiful Sunshine State, we are NXT part of the universe that goes every Tuesday night. You see us on the USA Network, not in the ring, but in the arena, and we are totally feel like it's like our family members in that ring. And man, I was excited to see Toxic Attraction in there. Let's get Samurai to see if he's okay. Samurai, testing, and you're hearing us?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
All right.
Things happen.
All right. So Terrence, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Terrence, tell me about when we saw our girls come in there. My God, we were like proud family members.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm here rewatching the match itself, and like when I was on my job and I heard that music, popped so hard. Like, I don't know if anybody around the neighborhood saw me or whatever, but I was going nuts. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, and I kind of, there was a little pause, like after Natalya or whoever's music went off, there was a little pause in between there. So like, now just saying this, like I told you before, I didn't see what was going on throughout the day, but the anticipation with that pause, I wanted to hear toxic music, and as soon as I heard toxic, I was like, yo, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it, and I'm not going to tell the result, but I just want to say I'm looking here at the match here, and I know you've been a little bit critical of Gigi, man. Like looking at it right now, Gigi looked pretty good in this match.
She did a leap. She had a leapfrog and into a spear. I was like, whoa, look at Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Sorry guys, we're a little bit of a mark. I know I'm gonna let you guys speak, but we're excited because we watch these girls night in, night out. And I was like, whoa, phenomenal there. But before they got into the ring, we had a little bit of an interruption though. We had Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. They bought tickets. They were at ringside. And then the toxic music came out to that. So that was a little bit of a, okay, wait a minute. Could they help? Could they be helping here Natalya maybe? Or picking and choosing? But I was excited for that match. Chef Dan, I'm gonna go to Samurai first, Chef Dan. Let me get Samurai real quick here on this one. I'm gonna go with Samurai because you watch NXT longer than us, and you're the resident NXT guy here. You've seen Toxic Attraction before us and see them their title runs from the very beginning. What's your thoughts watching them night in, week after week, seeing them in SmackDown and their match? Don't get the results yet. Give me the match, how it looked.
I mean, it looked pretty good. I mean, it looked good for it being a last minute thing. I mean, I kind of expected it, but at the same time, I like the fact that they're there. They were no botches. No botches at all. And they look solid in the SmackDown ring. They look phenomenal. No pun intended.
No pun. That was right. They belong. Chef Dan, you're new now, like to seeing Toxic Attraction because I know you work and you're also watching the basketball and part of the channel doing other where I'm not watching certain sports. You've got my back. So the point is, we're not watching the same sports because of the way we want to cover our network. You don't see a lot of NXT. Now, you're finally seeing these girls come up to the main roster. For your very first time seeing them, what was your total honest opinion on the way the girls looked tonight?
It was for a short notice matchup. There were a couple of things I want to point out that just helped the match be more than what it was. Number one, the two ladies that came in, Toxic Attraction, they were very, very excellent. The work overall was clean. There may have been a miss or two like outside of the ring here and there, but that's because of like Bayley and what's the other two girls' names?
Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
Io Sky and Dakota. Like the funny part, like this is what made, I think this, what people, the fans in the arena weren't privy to this, but us at home, I think we were treated to a special treat. Was that while you had this, match happening that was spur of the moment, Bayley comes out of nowhere, and her and Io and Dakota, they are in Michael Cole's ear. They are in Pat McAfee's ear. You're hearing every word that Bayley is saying, and Bayley's having a conversation with Pat, and Bayley's like ribbing Michael Cole, all while at the same time saying, "No, I'm just out here scouting. I'm scouting," and she's giving she's giving Natalya and she's giving Natalya
Sonya.
and what's in and Sonya the business, like especially Sonya, she was giving her the business outside, like just, oh, your time is up in the ring. You should just go back to being a GM. Like it was just these little perfect sound bites that you get to help it just helped move things along. And whenever that was happening and they, focused their attention on Bayley, out of nowhere, Toxic Attraction did something that it lended to their name. They were a toxic attraction, and the matchup overall was just beautiful. The one thing I can say, though, the reason I think that the Jedi is always, and Terrence, I'm just going to take your word for it. The reason why I think he's critical of Gigi is because whenever he sees that last name Dolin, he knows he has to say something about it. But I'll leave it to Jedi. Go ahead.
Yes. First of all, I want to congratulate Gigi Dolin, though, because she did something that somebody hasn't. And I want somebody, anybody wants to read that here. Congratulations to Gigi Dolin. Made the main roster faster than Darby Allin. Ouch.
Really?
Ouch. Ouch. That was a nice one there. But the reason why Gigi, I'm so happy she did well. She needs to lose a little bit of pounds, there, because they have a certain fit. But I really am so. She got to lose a little bit of weight, just a little bit.
Really? You think so?
Just to move a little bit quicker. For us for male audience, it looks phenomenal. But to move quicker and to get that flexibility, she needs just a little more. I
guess you're right.
I digress there. But we get the match. I gotta say though, Jayne was the MVP of that match. She was the perfect heel. The way her mannerisms, the way she just teased and taunted the ladies, the Sonya and Natalya. I love the fact that she was going to put that sharpshooter on Natalya in Montreal, out of all the places. I was like, whoa, she's mocking the suplex. Certain moves, the kicks, the moves outside, the rubs outside on the platform. Awesome. You don't see them do too much of that in NXT. And I was like, whoa, no botches. It looks clean. It didn't look sloppy. I was like, and besides, in NXT, they don't have bad matches either. But they, you can see where they sell short just a little bit on certain moves. But tonight, it was just phenomenal, camera angle wise. Their entrance, and the finish. We get, Natalya. You see the fake tag from Gigi was the legal woman in the ring. Jace gets the tag and she hides underneath the apron while Sonya gets distracted or get knocked out. And you got Natalya with the sharpshooter. Here comes Jace. Boom, hits it. Toxic gets the victory. I was jumping for joy. The girls did it. They won. I know. Terrence, what was your thoughts when you saw that pin, that victory?
I popped just as hard as I did when I first heard their music. Come on. I was actually and one of the reasons why, because I was actually surprised. Okay, I wanted them to debut because, let's be all honest, it didn't make any sense to have Nikkita and Zoey as a tag team. They were never a tag team before. I don't know why they put them together then. And then to have a suitable replacement, I was just happy with that. I wasn't expecting Toxic to win at all. Now, I wasn't seeing Sonya and Natalya advance any further if they would have won tonight anyway. So I guess it would have made more sense in that vein for Toxic to win. Also insisting on making their main roster debut. So I enjoyed it, man. I'm glad that they won and they get to advance in their debut.
Agreed. Samurai, the advancement, the finish. What did you see with it? What did Right Women win? Are you excited for them going forward in this tournament?
Yes, I am very excited because, hey, we get to see some NXT alumni face off in the semifinals, which is something that I was hoping for. But as far as the right team won, I told you what I told you on Tuesday. The Toxic Attraction were going to get caught up.
He did.
You didn't believe me. I was right.
No, he did. He did say that. By the way, he said that. I did say that Zoey and Nikkita wasn't going to make that match. I did say that, but I got it wrong, though. I did say it was going to be the Boss and Glow to take their place. Yes, you guys talked me off that ledge. No. You got to bring them in. You got to bring them in a bigger moment, in a pay-per-view, not on the Smackdown moment. So you were right there. I was 50% on that. I said they weren't going to make that match. Now, Nikkita Lyons, I got one criticism on the whole thing with Toxic Attraction, and yes, one criticism, and I was surprised. But first, Nikkita Lyons, the reason she didn't date Zoey, Nikkita Lyons wasn't vaccinated, wasn't allowed into Canada. That's one of the reasons. They're not gonna say it like that. That's one of the reasons why. Yes, that's why. But sometimes when negative or one window closes, another door opens, and it opened up the Toxic Attraction on the main roster. Hopefully, they could go forward here, and it's gonna be interesting. My only critique of the whole situation, Chef Dan, I'm gonna let you go real quick in a minute here. They should have done this. If you're gonna bring Toxic Attraction up, you bring them out. But I think maybe they would have stole the spotlight from the girls. You bring her out with the NXT Women's Champion. You bring Mandy Rose to bring them out, introduce them, because Mandy and Sonya has some history. You bring them out there, and you also say, this is the Women's NXT Champion. Mandy Rose, you see her on Tuesday nights on NXT. You're promoting NXT. The girls get the victory. I go, oh, they looked good. I'm gonna go look. If you're, a casual, like let's say Chef Dan, I'm gonna throw, oh, these girls were impressive. Mandy Rose, I didn't know she was there. I remember last time when she was with Otis, making that announce on Tuesday, she's the champ. Where I'm gonna go check it out. I felt they lost that opportunity to capture an audience there. Chef Dan, you want to elaborate that, or maybe I'm off. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, I don't know if they missed the chance to capture the audience to NXT. I think like the beautiful thing about what's going on naturally in the WWE, as I see it, it's like you guys, you and Terrence, you guys are ahead of the curve, ahead of like a lot of WWE fans. And what I mean by that is the way WWE has made it is that NXT has become its own separate entity that it has its own reasons. I would liken it to the preliminaries of a UFC fight. If you want to see the sport's next star, you better pay attention to the preliminaries, because if not, by the time this guy gets hot, he hits the main roster and he's doing great things, you're asking, where did this guy come from? You just weren't paying attention, but the diehards were. So that's why I think, like, as much as they had a chance to maybe get some eyes over to NXT, I think they're doing the right thing and letting you know, hey, you're either on the, hype train with NXT or you're not, and you're just going to miss it. So that's where I'm fine with the way they have things going with NXT. As far as the, ending to the matchup, it was a very clever finish. The way Natalya didn't notice the tag in, and then they come in, they were able to get the finish on Natalya. Even though Natalya's distracted, they get it done, and boom, that's them. That's Toxic Attraction. Like, that finish right there, it's speaking to a video that I had watched earlier where Ric Flair was talking about, it's more than just, you being able to wrestle in the ring. Sometimes your moves help you tell a story. And the way that match ended tells the story of Toxic Attraction. So absolutely loved it.
I love it. So we know now, we see the updated bracket here. Monday Night Raw. What a freaking Monday Night Raw. It's going to be phenomenal. Io Sky and Dakota Kai taking on Alexa Bliss and Asuka. That's a grudge match. You could have said that could have been the finals, and we're getting that on Monday Night Raw, semifinals. And then next week I believe it's in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Raquel. It's in Detroit. Raquel and Aaliyah taking on Gigi and Jace, former NXT. All these ladies on the SmackDown side. Well, actually, everyone but Asuka and Alexa are all rookies. If you to the main roster, if you really think about it, they're all rookies. And we all know Asuka and Alexa Bliss were NXT as well. So Guess what? NXT is bright. That's why you invest in the young core. And for all those folks that hate on NXT podcast, and you know who you are, you talk about them so negative, how much NXT is terrible, it's boring. You know who you are. You always say about you go after it. You don't like nothing NXT does, but guess what? It's true. Wrestling Inc. Wrestle Talk. I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna, you know what? Bust it open. All you guys. But guess what? All of these kids, all these ladies, they were all NXT because they learn it from the right way. What do you want? Someone to come out there and once a week on Wednesdays and do Botchamania and call it Rampage and Dynamite? Come on, guys. These guys are learning. They're learning. We get to see them develop, make the mistakes in person, and they don't even make that many mistakes. They don't make mistakes. But I digress. We're seeing the NXT teaching them how to be professional. And then guess what? It's showing. Look at the tournament. The tournament, and Chef Dan is, and if they're away from the sport, Chef Dan is a big proponent of the NBA basketball tournament, like myself. The Bellator Grand Prix tournaments. Tournaments have a place. They're exciting, even though they're taking a negative situation with Naomi and Sasha, and they're turning it now into something that we're invested, invigorated, and we want to see more. I cannot wait for next week. Samurai, are you looking forward for the semifinals of this tournament? It's phenomenal.
Yes, I am. I am very excited. I wonder what they're gonna do with finals though. Like the finals, since next week is semifinals, what are they gonna? Are they gonna hold off a week and then are they gonna do the Clash to Cast or what?
Yeah, because the ladies are in a 6-man tag.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna be over. And the thing is, they're gonna be overseas. And Samurai, you made a great point. Maybe they take a week, a following situation. Maybe, who knows? Terrence, tell me, Samurai, between SmackDown and Raw, which one if you had to pick one of the two of the matches, which one you want to see first? The most prioritized. Dakota.
Put that bracket up again.
Yes, I'll put the bracket up. Here it is. You got Dakota Sky and Io Sky.
Dakota Sky and Dakota. See, I did it again. Dakota Kai Io Sky versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss. That'll be something to see because we haven't really seen Asuka and Io Sky in the ring together. So that'll be a first. Mm-hmm. Same with Dakota Kai as well. Like Asuka and Dakota Kai will be something to see as well. I haven't seen that on the main roster yet, so I've seen it in NXT, but not on the main roster. But as far as Toxic Attraction versus Aaliyah and Raquel, that can also be something to look forward to as well. I mean, like you said, they're all basic NXT. It's an NXT tournament basically. Let's just call it what it is.
It is. It's an NXT tournament.
It's awesome. It is amazing. Like I agree with Samurai. The match I'm looking to for the most is the Dakota Kai. I almost say Dakota Sky.
It's those people in the chat. They don't let you think. The chat members are driving us crazy with all the chats. Quiet chat.
No, but like as far as that match against Alexa Bliss and Asuka, I'm looking forward to that match. I was gonna say I'm looking forward to the entire tournament, but I think that match will be the better match than the Toxic versus who? Oh yeah, Leah.
Raquel and Io. I'll put it back up.
Well, no, I did it on purpose because they just kind of came on the roster.
Sarcasm. Got it.
A little bit.
Chef Dan, let me put the bracket up there.
I already got my answer. For me, honestly, it's Toxic Attraction versus Raquel and Aaliyah. That's the matchup that I want to see the most. Ever since Raquel's touched the main roster, she's the one that I feel like out of all the new rookies, she's the one that's got the most potential to just, her ability in the ring and her physique gives it enough that she can tell multitudes of stories with her, her wrestling in the ring. But if they can work on her, getting on the microphone and, really flaunting her mic skills, she could be anything in this company. So I just have a high affinity for Raquel. I think she's a star in the making. And that matchup right there, you never know where if that matchup ends up being like how do you say? That matchup could prelude to some, somewhere down the line, people are watching the old matchup where you remember when John Cena and Randy Orton, where they first unified the first titles. So they went back to OVW and they had a matchup of Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton teaming up versus John Cena and Batista, whatever. 4 megastars that were in the ring. We didn't know at the time each of these guys were going to carry the mantle for the company. But I think that matchup has a potential where we see 4 potential superstars.
Pretty sure. I'm also taking that matchup too, the Aaliyah and Markel versus Gigi and Jace, not because of the NXT, watching them, because all the ladies are. The reason why is there's a recent history, because remember Raquel used to be a tag team with Dakota. Raquel Gonzalez was with Dakota, and they lost their NXT titles to Toxic Attraction. First they beat Toxic Attraction and Stand and Deliver. Then following Tuesday on NXT, Toxic regained the title, and that's when both ladies dismantled. We saw Raquel get called up to the main roster, and Dakota got released. There's some history tension. So, and also Aaliyah was part of NXT. They all have worked in the ring, so they have familiarity and they know how to work the bumps and the match. I think that's why that match is going to be really impressive. Although you can sell short Dakota and Io taking on Alexa and Asuka, because these ladies are more seasoned. The more seasoned ladies are in Raw right now, but I think the more fire match, more impressive to me to want to watch, is that one in SmackDown. But either or, it's going to be great. Raw is going to dictate what's going to happen on SmackDown. Depending who wins on Monday Night Raw, it's going to dictate who wins on SmackDown, in my opinion. If we see Alexa Bliss take and Asuka gets the victory, which I don't think so, because I think they're building up Dakota and Io, then we're going to see Raquel and Aaliyah kind of win. And but if it's the other way around, I'm going to see Toxic, and I don't think they're not going to do it in Clash of the Castles. I think they want to keep it statewide in the States, because I think they want the States to appreciate that title inauguration. So it'll be interesting to see where they'll do that, on what platform. Before we move forward there, any other things about this women's tournament?
Well, I mean, as to like kind of what Chef Dan was saying, as far as like kind of almost comparing it to John Cena and Batista when they had OVW. I know you're a big Raquel fan. I'm kind of like, she's okay. I really want to see, since she got on the main roster, I want to see Aaliyah like also, become something too, like grow a little bit more. Because I'm a fan of hers, and like she has a lot of potential. Like she doesn't get that much of a crowd noise or whatever, and it's just because she hasn't been used on TV and she hasn't had the proper time to like develop a character. Like she had something going with Natalya like a couple of months ago or last year, or whenever it was, Aaliyah 36 or 317 or whatever like that. So she had something, but it wasn't really like something like character-wise to build her and to get the crowd more invested in her. So I'm looking forward to her becoming, an eventual usual star, a big-time star, I should say. But yeah, that's what I wanted to chime in on.
All right. So we're excited for the women's tournament. Women, WWE know how to promote their women. They know how to give us, an exciting match. And kudos to the ladies. They're bringing it. They bring it night in, night out. Sometimes even more exciting than the males on the WWE rosters at times. So we move on here to the second time we see the Tribal Chief. And of course, with Sami Zayn in the background. And the promo was freaking awesome. King Slayer, what is up, boss, in the chat. Guys, this promo was amazing and entertaining. We were talking about, Sami Zayn throwing a little dirt on Jimmy there, or Jay, or, both of them, how he's not seeing eye to eye there. Tribal Chief, let me ask you, Terrence, because you that's your main guy. Did it look like he wanted Sami Zayn in his corner because he was alone and was using him? I think there's a little seed plant.
You could tell just in that promo. You could tell, like, watching wrestling for all these years, WWF attitude, to be more specific. Like, you can see, like, when like a top star is like using somebody not I want to say like not really a huge star, because Sami Zayn, he's a pretty legit package there, but you can tell. I can tell just by that entire promo, and then I'm not going to say it now, but I think so. I think he was just like using this tactic, like, it's, he's, what do you say, he's an honorary boost.
An honorary boost and the locker room leader.
yeah. As far as that honorary Oos thing goes, like, I don't believe that to 1 cent. Like that's just they're all just egging him along, and I think the only one that's kind of like I don't want to say feel bad for him, but just kind of like being a little bit more. I can't think of the right word. I guess lenient with Sami Zayn a little bit, trying to I guess give him a little chance is Jimmy, because you can tell Jimmy is a little bit more like he's more so like Roman, but just a little bit more chill. But as far as just like Roman and Paul and Jay, they're just like all, I think they're all like using Sami. So in that entire promo, like you can tell, dude. But it was awesome just to see that entire back and forth between them two. Mostly Sami talking, but yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And of course, you see the tribal chief ask Sami Zayn if he's still friends with Kevin Owens, and he sends him a message. He doesn't owe nobody anything. Samurai, do you see there's a seed planted there? Do you see it as Kevin Owens, Roman, or something different?
What I think is I think they're gonna just they're gonna go and get Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's gonna get so fed up with the bloodline, he's gonna contact Kevin Owens and tell him exactly what's going on. And I feel like once he does that, they're gonna team up together and they're gonna face the Usos for the tag titles at some point.
Okay, I kind of was getting into that. I kind of agree with you there, Chef Dan. Your interaction of this promo, sending a message to Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw said, tell your tribal chief, I did him a favor, because he came in and he took out McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. So this promo here, there's a message being sent. What was your thoughts on it?
It was a funny promo. It was a great promo. It served its purpose on a multitude of sides. It's not so serious to where it's just the Kevin Owens message. It's not so comical to where it's just like, hey, Jay is ungrateful. And that was, the message throughout is like, hey, Jay is ungrateful, because there's like they can do a multitude of things with that promo. They already have, you can clip out the Kevin Owens piece that can be addressed on Monday. Shoot, even next week, Friday, if you have the Usos back with the, with the tribal chief, they can go back to that clip of where Roman is saying, yeah, Jay is a little ungrateful. He just yells a lot. All that. There's a multitude of things they can do with the promo. So when you look at that, it's like, man, they're flexible with their storytelling. It's grade A point for me. It does what it does, and I'm not gonna I'm still enjoying it. I used to try and tell what happens next, but right now I'm enjoying the show as is. So what they're planning to do between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, I don't know. I don't care, but I'm here to enjoy the show as it comes to me.
I agree with you on that. That was a good analogy there. We'll see because like you said, there's so many different angles. There's a story within stories that whichever way they feel, they could take that direction. You could say kind of plant a seed for a bloodline disagreement, with Jay, or you could see where Kevin Owens might want to come out and help, his friend Sami Zayn, and they could go for the unified titles. They said there's a big push coming for Kevin Owens. They do the dirt sheets. So he's not going to be champion. There's a big line right now, and the mid-card titles are being well defended. They have obstacles now. Guys who are doing a good promos, either United States or Intercontinental. So it kind of pushes towards the tag team title belts. To see if they're going to push that way. So there's a lot of storyline there. I can't wait to see where it goes, and what it transpires weeks to come. So which is good, because you got long-term booking. So here's another one for all the marks that were getting upset with Vince with the 50-50 booking. No storyline, no long-term booking, yada yada. They're checking the boxes. So the complainers can stop complaining about WWE and let the story marinate. So we'll move on here. We get a promo from Karrion Kross, and his promo pretty much wants to go after Drew, setting up that seed. Drew, Karrion Kross. I liked the promo. I really did. Samurai, that promo. Give me something that you really, really captivate you, that you loved about that promo, or if you dislike it. You know, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
The promo between Karen Cross. I mean, it was great. I mean, for me, I think that Karen cuts a very good promo. I mean, he just gets it. He knows how to sell a storyline, a rivalry, or whatever he's doing. I think that like with the tarot card, which I didn't see what the tarot card said, but you know, I feel like it was pretty much him saying, you were no longer the chosen one, I am.
I love that one. He said, you had a chance to clear the table and you allow someone to be ahead of the table. He mentioned, I was like, whoa, that was awesome.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, okay, yes. Period. Dropping bars, man.
That was nice. That was a nice promo. And you know what? I promo wise, look wise, I'm invested. Now I want Karrion Kross to take this image that I have out of my head, and it's not when he made the W roster. It was that Ric Flair match, the last match. He had a match with Harry Smith. I saw that match. I wasn't impressed. Please, Karrion, get in the ring and take your last match in my mind was not good. So I hope when you come to the WWE, your debut, in-ring debut for me, because I didn't watch you in NXT and I don't remember your call up when he lost to Hardy. I didn't see it. So to me, you're going to be fresh in my mind. Impress me, because I got a bad taste from the Harry Smith match. But I'm invested in that character and his promo. Chef Dan, are you on? What's your thoughts on Karrion Kross too? Because you're with me. We've seen him pretty much for the first time, unless if you remember him prior.
No, this is my first time actually, getting there's a first time where his appearance makes a statement to me, other than, seeing him just a few other times in the past Monday Night Raw when he was letting Drew McIntyre know that he was coming to attack. I'm a big sucker for wordplay, number one. So using wordplay to help get a message across, it's very powerful. It sometimes, like, playing on words makes it makes the words feel that much heavier when you play with them. The way he was like playing on Chosen One and Head of the Table, like you guys said, that's beautiful. It's just beautiful poetry. That's what it truly is, and it's great promotion. I love that. The visualizations they used of, just the different images they used throughout the promo, the candle lights, the I don't know who the lady is that's with him. I don't know her name exactly. Scarlett, yes. And she herself, she's got a bit of a creepy look about her. And she just keeps staring and barely blinking, and he just keeps going. Like, I love the image. Like you said, if there's one thing that, I haven't seen him in the ring yet, I haven't gotten to watch Ric Flair's last match, the whole card. So as far as that, I haven't, I don't have an image in my head, but I've seen some, him attacking Drew McIntyre, time to time. The one thing, as great as his promotion is, the one thing that bugs me about this is that the fact that they're choosing to promote him during Drew McIntyre wanting to get an earnest title run against Roman Reigns lets me know that Drew McIntyre isn't going to win against Roman Reigns, because Karrion Kross won't allow it.
Interesting.
Good point.
Okay.
He just won't, and it's not even. It's not to say, they ruined it for me. It's just, you gave me too good of a character for me to, put in my mind. Like, am I supposed to believe that this guy right here who's leaving hourglasses and tarot cards everywhere where Drew McIntyre can see? When Drew McIntyre, I remember this on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre is getting ready to come outside, and he's in the back preparing. Who's watching him prepare in the back, cutting a promo while watching him? Karrion Kross. You mean to tell me this guy is gonna let him win at Clash at Castle? No, I don't see it happening. So you've given me too much. Like you've given me too much for the investment in this character that I know Drew McIntyre isn't gonna win the title. That's the only thing that's kind of pulling me away from the story. But otherwise, he's just great. He's absolutely wonderful at his promotion.
It's a storyline within the storyline.
Yeah.
If I may say something, don't forget we also have Austin Theory, who's the Money in the Bank holder. You
know what? Good reminder. I wish they would have showed him a little bit, cut a promo, or being a goofball, laughing or something, in a couple matches coming up, just to remind us, hey, Theory's still around. He's still carrying that briefcase, at least in SmackDown. We saw it on Raw, but remind you, Raw, SmackDown. I'm pretty sure everybody watches both shows, but just in case they don't, they should at least remind us, hey, guess what? I'm still here. I'm still holding this. So you're right there, Samurai. Good one.
As you say, I'm here. Guess what? It's a nice surprise. Like when he does decide to cash it in, because everybody's like seemingly forgot about him and the Money in the Bank briefcase. That I tend to forget about that thing because like who's the Money in the Bank? Who's the Money in the Bank? And then all of a sudden, when nobody is expecting it, then it happens. So it's
A-Town.
Yeah, that's gonna be whether you're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it or whatever. It makes for great TV.
Yeah, you're perfect on that one. So there's a lot of, I love it because there's so many different storylines, and so far every match, what WWE so far here has invested in SmackDown and Raw, even NXT, every match matters. There's a repercussion and now there's a meaning to every win and loss. You don't need to give us win and loss record because this is wrestling. You don't need that. This is not MMA. It doesn't work. The ranking system. He's gonna be the next one. It doesn't work because it's wrestling scripted. It's whoever gets over by the crowd, who the crowd elevates, and so forth. But I like the fact that these matches have a purpose and a meaning and an investment to us to want to watch it, even the minimums match. But we move on to the next before we get a big segment that I like. I think the best segment of SmackDown, and it was Hit Row.
You say the best?
I said the best. I'm being sarcastic. So Hit Row comes out. First we had Maximum Male Models and with Max and Maxine Dupree. And Hit Row just comes out of nowhere and clears the ring. Didn't even, totally a squash. It was a squash of their promo. And, Maximum Model with those two, Mansoor and Mansoor, don't work for me.
I think, I think that they should just like scrap the gimmick entirely. But honestly, what they should do is they should put the Los Lotharios in Maximum Models, or get Pretty Deadly.
That's who they need to bring, Pretty Deadly, and they need one more to me in the Maximum Models, and it will blow the roof off. And you got to have the Super Diva, elevate them, bring Quincy up there. I'm just joking.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, we need to enjoy Quincy on the NXT level.
Yeah. Take it easy on that one.
Yeah. We got to be greedy a little bit with can't let them have the WWE universe can't have Quincy yet. The NXT universe has to first enjoy the Quincy in our universe. But Hit Row came out, cleared the ring. They sang a song. They gave us a little bit of a concert, a little cool down to all the hypeness. Is this Acclaim 2.0 or what's your thoughts, Terrence?
Once again, like when I was watching it, and I was just like, I didn't watch it. I just heard him just like rapping and stuff like that, and I thought something was gonna like, I don't know for whatever reason I thought that something good was gonna come out of Maximum Male Models and Hit Row or whatever. I must say it was good that they cleared the ring of them. But because they don't
tantalize your juices.
that we need to have we need him back, not no Max Dupree or nothing like that. But I digress. That segment with them just like rapping and stuff. As far as like the people in the arena, yeah, it was like a good. If you really wasn't invested in Hit Row, if you don't know who they were, it was kind of like a good, snack break or something like that. Go get you a bathroom break or take a break from the incredible Smackdown it was tonight. I won't say incredible, but pretty good show.
You know what they call that the Jay Cargill moment.
Chill. That's my fellow Gemini right there. That's my fellow Gemini. Nah, but it was okay. I don't think they need to do more of that consistent. I think they just need to they need to figure something. Even though it's Hit Row and they that's their thing, they rap and stuff. I think they just kind of need to have a little bit more. They need a story. They need a storyline. They need a little swift kick in there. From somebody to get them going.
They need to go in there and they're upset of getting released.
Yeah, you know what? That could be the catalyst to what they need. They need something because just them coming out and not saying that they're going to come out every week and start rapping and doing all this stuff, but it can get a little tired. Just like R-Truth, that's my guy too. But
yeah,
you can tell overall, the lyrics, and all of a sudden you get tired, and then he does multiple character changes and he goes back to the same gimmick instead of growing into the same thing. So, like I said, they're young. They have more things that they can do besides just rapping and, whooping different people's asses. That really doesn't matter. Excuse my language, but it was that segment was to me.
All right, I'm gonna ask Chef Dan. Chef Dan, when you saw the Fugees come out, were they killing you softly? I like Chef Dan's look.
Look at his face.
I love his face. Ooh, la la la.
He's got that mid face. Really?
Talk to me about Hit Row.
Oh, I'm gonna say something that sounds a bit controversial.
Go for it.
I like maximum male models. I like that.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I like the shtick. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys saw the video that WWE the Twitter account had posted when those guys were trying to advertise water and something else. So they did a whole that was genuinely funny to me. It's genuinely funny to me. So it's all right, y'all have something that y'all could work with here with these, the male models, and as long as y'all have this guy, Max, what's his name? Maxwell Dupree. As long as you have this guy cutting some promos, and let those guys just be faces and not really face per se, but just let them be models as they are, and he just sell it the way he could be. It would be a great thing. And then I noticed after they did the great hype train to introduce MMM, it's just been a bit a slow downhill tread for them. Mm-hmm. And so it's it seems like you guys aren't handling that, those set of characters correctly, and they could be something that could be of comical relief throughout the card, because SmackDown, Raw, wrestling has always had some form of comical relief in the midst of the show. Something to add levity. That way, if you get back into some serious stuff, it doesn't feel all draining to the audience watching it. So that's what, that's why I feel these guys, they could be doing something with this. But then, what do they call Hit Squad?
Hit Row. You can call them the Fugees. You can call them Fuji.
No. So the Suicide Squad comes out, right? And wait, I'm sorry. Hit Row. Hit Row. Okay. But yeah, Hit Row comes out, and number one, if there's one thing I know as a, just as a rap enthusiast, you never ever want to debut a brand new song, performing it live with a whole bunch of audience noise, and you guys have no control over microphones, and y'all don't know how y'all sound over the microphone, because the song just sounded terrible. And then it made me upset because it was like, cool, you guys just kicked out this whole product with potential just so you guys could lay one whole nasty fart on the program. And like, I was not entertained at all. This was a waste of bars. This was a waste of music. I wish I got my money back.
What if they would have played some saxophone in the back?
That would have ruined saxophone as an instrument. And I play saxophone, and a saxophone didn't belong on that stage there.
All right. All right. Samurai. Now, before I go, I'm going to give it a Samurai. But this is, be honest with you, if they would do the maximum amount as we thought, these guys would have been perfect. They're pretty deadly. Look at the way they're dressed in lace. They're a comic. They're great. They could wrestle. They could bring it. But they have that. They have that look there like Zoolander. You could have made them Zoolander.
You know what's crazy? They have that Edge and Christian feel. The way I'm looking at them right now, you remember how Edge and Christian used to?
Yeah.
They came out and they were just like, I don't know how else to say it. They were like, those guys were Comedy Central movies before Comedy Central movies were out there. That's what Christian and Edge was. Like, so when you see those guys, like, there's always a place for levity. Even with this Suicide Squad.
Hit row.
Even with them, right? Like, I see what they're trying to do there. They're not trying to emulate R-Truth. They're trying to emulate, Too Cool with Rikishi, Grandmaster, they're trying to emulate that per se. Like, that was a whole, I remember when, oh my gosh, man. And it's just moments, I'm just taking them back. I remember the moment when after that match, after any matchup with the Team Too Cool and Rikishi, as soon as they lined up, they put the shades and their arms went down, everybody was in for a show. Like that whole, just the fact that they would even after the match and they'd be like, wait, are they lining up for it? Are we about to get treated? Don't just walk out the ring. Come on now.
Yeah.
But then Suicide Squad came out and let out a wet farting on the stage, and that's who we got. So
yeah. And Samurai, give me your thoughts on Hit Row. Talk to me, because you see them in NXT as well. What give it?
Yeah. I mean, it was something. I mean, I personally, I really don't like the whole rap performance thing they did. They could have like went to the studio and did it, like Chef Dan says. I mean, I was hoping they would they would have a match with maximum models, but I guess not. Because there's
Maybe next week, yeah. Maybe that makes their maximum amount of ring debut.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I just feel like the champion's right. I mean, they wasted a segment for no reason whatsoever.
It had its purpose, I believe, even though we didn't like it too much. It was a cool down period because it cooled everybody down. And like, oh my god, this was not that great. Like, get off.
Yeah, but also
exit, stay right. If you were hungry, go get a hot dog. Go get a
Yeah, but also the crowd got heated up again with the Fatal 5-way, which I think is.
Well, thank you for spoiling it because I was going to build it up, but go ahead, build it up. Again, this guy can't help himself.
Hey, at least he didn't get a result though.
He didn't get the result yet. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, good thing I stopped him because the result would have been next. That's why I was building it up. We had a cool down, and you could have got the break because we had a phenomenal Fatal 5-way. Go ahead, Samurai. Give us the participants. Since you teased it, give us all the participants in the match there, and give us your thoughts on that final 5-way. I'm gonna let you go first because usually you're going a little bit either second to last or last. You go first. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the honor. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we had Sami Zayn, we had Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, and what was it, Sheamus, and Ricochet. You know, and that's the same thing already. Okay, yeah. So that was that was the bit of 5-way participants, and it was a very, very excellent match. There was a point in the match where Sami Zayn got hurt, which I thought it wasn't a good thing, because like you know when we usually back in the day when people would get hurt, they would come back and win the match. Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, what is with your face?
Are we talking about wrestling, or are we talking about our faces? I mean, let's get.
Well, we're talking about wrestling, but Chef Dan looks like he has to say something. But anyway, I digress. So we have a phenomenal match. Like, it was back and forth, nonstop, hardcore, hard hitting action. You know, I feel like it actually made the crowd from the previous segment come back to life. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah, there you go. And also we had a shirtless Baron Corbin, which is weird.
Well, they just had the Maximum Male Models. They didn't give us a full segment of them, so they had Corbin take his shirt off. Maybe it's tantalizes your juices. You never know. I
mean, hey, to each their own, I guess.
But all in all, that Fatal 5-way, what a freaking match. You know what? Let's get the monkey out of the room, or the pink elephant, like A-Rod said, out of the room. Sami Zayn in Montreal, the crowd was all over him. They loved, of course, hometown hero, the Sami chants. Good for him, because he's been taking some bumps with the Jackasses doing that match. Little comedy here with the Usos, now with the Bloodline, but to hear the crowd giving him that applause, that Raw and that Fatal 5-way, Chef Dan, tell me how did that feel for Sami Zayn?
That was phenomenal. That, I think Sami Zayn was. It's funny. You like you said, he's been taking those bumps, and man, this likens what Sami likens to me is like, and I'm not saying this like their career trajectory pace for pace, but Paul Heyman, when he used to host ECW, there was a guy who was he used to just get beat up back in the early days of ECW. I forget what his name was, but something Dougie or something like that. And he wasn't in the ring to get a win. He was just in the ring to take a beating and then just leave. And sometimes you got to know what your purpose is to help the grander picture in life.
Are you talking about Spike Dudley or Spike Dudley?
Not Spike Dudley, before Spike Dudley. Like when he this was this is when he just got Tommy Dreamer. He just introduced Sabu in the ECW, and then there was another guy who just came along. Like I don't remember his name exactly. I'll find it another time. But I know Sami Zayn has had some rough patches. But when you look at where he's at right now in his career, he's doing everything that's necessary to help the company move along. And I think as long as you stay a company man, he's gonna have longevity. Not in the ring, but I think he's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna end up a suit that helps produce, other talent throughout the ring. Because you see it like, all right, the Bloodline is as serious as they come. You see what they're doing. They're trying to take over the WWE as much as they can, hold every belt and walk out of the ring. Well, for something like that, sometimes you need a little, comedy relief to help, see these guys in another light. Sometimes you don't need to see Roman Reigns just grouchy all the time. Mm-hmm. Like earlier when when we talked about the first promo he had with Sami Zayn, where you're right. Jay is a little, he yells a lot. This guy, he's not. He's ungrateful. He yells too much. You're a good guy. You take hits in the face for me. I like you. Like, that's some, like, come on. That's some funny stuff. For you to look at another human being and say, I like the way you take a boot in the face for me. That's just genuinely hilarious. And Sami Zayn can some guys, when they enter the when they enter the business of wrestling, they all want to be the guy. And so they can't take a little embarrassment like that, not knowing that it helps the company move forward, and not knowing that you may take that little embarrassment now, you may feel like it's embarrassment, but there were guys like Mick Foley made 3 different careers off of stunts like that, where he wasn't always the most seriously taken guy, but because he gave people, you know, joy whenever they watched wrestling, it's just, you know, that's what came along with that. So Sami Zayn, he got the rightful pop that he deserved. Ricochet, I don't know what they're doing with this guy, man. I don't know what they're doing with this guy, but he's just in there to get beat up. He has some ring talent, but he's just in there to take a whooping. He's the smallest guy in there to take a whooping. For what reason, I don't know. And I feel genuinely concerned for the longevity of his career. But man, I don't know what they're doing with this guy. They give him no service. And then after that, you have Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss is still he's still a work in progress. If anything, this matchup showed that he was a work in progress, because whenever, like, he was involved in moments that looked really, really good, but then the moments that he didn't look really good were the moments where you could see he wasn't used to wrestling with the guy, so he didn't have that instant chemistry. He looked really great with Corbin, but then after that, when he had his bouts with Sheamus, it didn't look crisp, you know, so there were some things that he could work on. Other than that, Corbin, he was great in everything that he did. I love Sheamus for the way he moved, and the way Michael Cole made sure to emphasize Sheamus has accomplished everything in his career except holding that Intercontinental Championship. That means this matchup means something for Sheamus. I shouldn't assume what it means for everyone else. Like Sami Zayn, I know what his motivation is. He's back at home, plus the big Oos just told him, hey man, you get that title, it looked good around the bloodline. Now he's got a battery in his back. He has his motivation. Ricochet lost the title to Gunther, so he wants to get it back. He has his motivation. Madcap, his motivation isn't as strong as everyone because it would be his first title. He's a baby sipping on Similac. He don't know nothing yet. So like, these are all the different things that they use to help push the match forward and get the blood flowing into the arena, and they did it successfully with this matchup. I absolutely enjoyed everyone's role in this matchup, with the exception of Ricochet. Ricochet, they got to do something else with this guy.
Really? Okay. Terrence, what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, he did good in the match itself. It's just, to me, is his personality has to develop. That's all that is. And he has to have – he's had screen time. Like last week, he had a – what we call it, cringe-worthy promo that he had last week. I don't want to revisit right now, but as far as like is every talent in this match or in general, it was phenomenal, you know, for AJ Styles or whatever you want to say. But as far as the match itself, like I was just kind of like looking on and like going in and out because I was working and stuff. But every time I came back, you know, it was always some moments that was going on, and the crowd was always like invested in this entire match. It was amazing, dude. And then when I actually heard Sami Zayn comes out, and the crowd just, granted it's in Montreal, obviously, but the way that crowd reacted to Sami when he came out, it was. He didn't see all that or whatever, but the crowd.
But the crowd was live like crowd, that.
They were live, man. Like, I'm bigger than you thought the roof was gonna come off the place. Seriously.
I mean, realistically, like, you know, when like I said before, when he went out with injury and then came back, you thought that he was gonna win because the way the way that it was in the crowd. Like they popped. They wanted Sami to win, but you know, stranger things happen. Let's just say that.
No, and I'm glad you mentioned that because when you saw Sami Zayn apparently left for the show with the injury, I go, he's leaving. I go, they're saving. I said either they're gonna protect him here, so he doesn't take the defeat, and the home crowd was like, oh man, you know, it's not a letdown. But then when he went back to the locker room area and he came back out behind the curtain, the gorilla position, and came back out, I go, wait a minute, I think they're changing the outcome of this match due to the crowd here. And I was with you, Samurai. And although he comes back in, but I want to give props though to Sheamus. 38 was it battle of the barrel to on all the different participants. They got the hands, they got the bat, they got pounded, except for Zayn. And also the white noise that he did on Sami Zayn that caused that kind of that shoulder injury, that looked freaking awesome.
Real.
Oh
my gosh! When Sami just rolled out the ring, it looked like that was one of them. Like, oh man, Sheamus might have a receipt he has to cash in later on from Sami.
Yes. Ultimately, we see Sheamus got back and on Corbin. We get Sheamus gets the pin, gets the victory. He gets number one contendership match in Clash of the Castles. Of course, it's going to be overseas. It's going to be in Wales. Let me ask around the panel, round robin, result. Are you agree with it, despite the fact of Sami Zayn, who could have got over? Samurai, did you like the win here, or who did you wanted to win in that Fatal 5?
If I'm being honest, I wanted Sami to win, but you know. Okay. I mean, I'm okay with the outcome because we already know that Sheamus and Gunther are going to be it's going to be a war. As Michael Cole said, it's going to be a war, which is true because those two can go.
Yeah,
indeed.
For sure.
Terrence, your thoughts?
When I seen, because like I didn't know that match was going to happen tonight, so like when I was watching it in my truck and I seen they posted the participants in the match itself. And then the opportunity of what they was fighting for, I was like, Sheamus immediately. That's what I thought immediately. Sheamus has to win this one. Sheamus, because like it makes more sense for him. Like Chef Dan just kind of like explained it a little bit earlier. But as far as like you got Sami Zayn, he's just a crowd favorite. He's gonna put on a good match regardless. He's the sentimental favorite as far as there. Ricochet, he's a great talent, but he already had his chance against Gunther. I don't know how many times. Baron Corbin, obviously, that kind of would have made an intriguing matchup between him and Gunther, but it's two heels. So, although Sheamus is like a heel in itself, I think his was the better choice just because it's Sheamus and he's hard hitting himself going against Gunther. No, I don't, but I had a text, so I had to respond to it. But it makes more sense to have Sheamus win this match. And then also what Michael Cole stating it, I literally forgot about that. Like he never actually won the Intercontinental Championship before. So there you go. Sheamus has to win it. And then he wins it. And it's like, okay, boom. Now it's on. Him and Gunther. It's gonna be I won't say a fantastic matchup, but it's just gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be a brawl, man.
Yeah, I agree with that there. One thing I thought Ricochet was fine. His aerial assaults were really good. Of course, being a smaller man there, you also he was the right guy to take the bumps. You need a guy who's going to take the bumps in the Fatal 5-Way and tell a story. And I think he was the right guy to take those bumps. Because if you were telling me it was, Corbin, enough for him taking a lot of bumps. He takes too many bumps. He took the bump from McAfee. So... and I'm pretty sure the kind of worker Corbin is, if you would ask him to take those kind of bumps, he would have said no problem. And you couldn't have Sami Zayn take those bumps because you're home in Montreal, and then Madcap, like you said, he's Similac wet. I think they got the right guy to take the right bumps in Ricochet, my opinion. There, I'm going forward with that one, so I'm okay with it. What they're gonna do with him, Triple H is big on Ricochet. He's gonna get some pushes here. I don't know. I think don't be surprised if they team him up in a tag team. You know, I think
do something, man. Yeah,
I think Triple H is going to start revamping tag team titles, and tag team. I think we're starting to see some of that there, and I think he's going to try to push it. And won't be surprised if we see Ricochet find a good tag team partner that makes it work. Although I'm thinking with a Ricochet, I'll leave that for the end of the show. We mentioned a little bit on NXT just to tease a little bit. We'll tease it here on a little bit later as well. I think you could do a lot of things with Ricochet going forward. If he has a match, got a promo next week, he gets beat up by a newcomer on SmackDown. We'll leave that a little bit of tease for a little later down the road there. But we move on to the segment with the Viking Raiders funeral. That was another cool down section. That's another chance. If you didn't get, if you really was invested on that wonderful rap performance live in ring in arena singing, you had another chance to go get a hot dog, another soda. Last call for alcohol. Maybe, I don't know how Canada works.
Last call for alcohol.
But to me, it was another cool down with the Viking Raiders promo, the vignette there. I don't got much to say. It just served its purpose. Anyone wants to elaborate on that?
Nah. That's you said
that is a
right.
terrible gimmick,
cool
and they
down.
need to stop it. It is a terrible gimmick, and they just need to stop. No. I gotta get my pound of flesh in. Give me one moment. I really gotta get this in.
Hold on. I'm gonna get him. Hold on. I'm gonna give him his own pound. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Chef Dan, go for it.
I just don't understand. What is the point of this? Like, what are you going for? What are you trying to market? Because these guys, I don't see the point in them. They're Vikings for what reason? For what? Vikings aren't even cool anymore. You had a period for them to be cool, and you flamed out on that period. You got to get to the next coolest thing. You got to watch Twitter and look for the next coolest thing and get rid of this. Because that Viking funeral was pure butt cheeks ass. It was doo-doo. It was just doo-doo. And it's like, why? It feels like you're just feeding them to New Day so that they, all four of these guys, you got to keep some people on payroll. And New Day is great by themselves. They could just come out and cut a promo about the town they're in, and they kill 5 minutes easy. They're awesome. They've mastered their craft. But these guys are just terrible. They're garbage water. Basura. I cannot take it. Because they're just terrible. I didn't understand it. I'm watching this going, okay, why? What comes next? You make me feel absolutely nothing. Nothing. Just nothing. It's just got nothing for me. It's nothing for anyone. I don't get it. And then they lit a whole bunch of stuff on fire. That was supposed to be extra cool.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Y'all open up every show with 10 million pyromechanics. And then I'm supposed to be happy because two fat bearded dudes decided to burn a box of cereal. Miss me with that.
Let me ask you this. What I gotta collect myself for a moment.
They are. You're right, man. I agree with. What's the point? What's the point of even having them on the show? Just go to AEW. Just go to AEW.
No, not for nothing. Eric Ibar and Ibar, they could wrestle. They had some hell of a match with the Creed brothers. They could wrestle. They're good wrestlers. The problem is here, too much Viking gimmick. Just let them go out there. Everyone, they could be called Viking. They could be called the Viking Raiders. That's fine. I'm okay with it. But just don't with the shield and all the extra crap. I could do without. That's just me, personally. Just let's get into the wrestling. Yeah.
It's time period stuff that leaves you locked. It's like if a team comes out there and they say they're the Shining Knights, you know what that means? They can only reference stuff about the medieval times. You lock yourself. There's no openness to this character. Not only that, but the only time you've ever seen someone like open up their character is when the crowd has given them enough time to develop one aspect so you can see another aspect. But looking at these guys, like, what aspect am I supposed to be developed? Like, what am I supposed to be looking at these guys and I'm looking forward to? Their gruffness, their beards, the fact that they can eat mutton. I don't care that you can eat not cooked all the way meat. I don't care that you have a shield and an axe. You can't even use the axe. Like, it's one of those things where, like, if you use the axe, you can't even pull the, like, it's like Drew McIntyre with the Claymore, with the sword. Like that's something he can't physically use, but he's found other ways to, you know, to make himself entertaining. These guys, like, after you beat New Day, what am I supposed to, like, I'm supposed to look forward to you going on a voyage on a ship with a whole bunch of salesmen? I just, am I supposed to be excited because you scream Valhalla?
Viking tours. Viking cruises. They send me that every week, every month in the mail. Join us on a Viking cruise ships.
That doesn't even, like, how does that sound luxurious? Let me take you back to the olden times when technology wasn't all that good. We didn't even own toilet paper. Here's a piece of cloth and wipe your ass with it.
Twitter, here's a white pigeon. There's your Twitter. Tweet this.
It's a wet pigeon. That's your Twitter. Now write a letter in tiny paper and tie it to his leg and toss it to your mom's house.
No, but when the bird comes with his tweet, it's gonna poop on you with all the crap that you see on Twitter.
Man.
I'm sorry, like, this is just terrible. I don't see the point. I watched that entire promotion and I went, this is just and then they brought in some new character with dreads who I thought was maybe Kofi Kingston, you know, doing a little extra role play to help their promo move along when they're marking them on their foreheads with the little paint or whatever. I'm like no one knows or cares what that paint means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they have no. I don't want to say they have no place in this time, in this moment in WWE, I guess, history, but it kind of, like, you know, it's going nowhere right now.
No, they realistically, I mean, I understand, but, like, see, the point is, like, I mean, I don't know if you watched them back in, like, ROH and things like that. Like, it's the gimmick's basically a play on War Machine, their old tag team name, which I wish they would, you know, let them use. War Machine's not. It's just a better version of the Viking Raiders.
Well, the War Machine belongs to Marvel.
War Machine basically is like a better version of the Viking Raiders or the Viking gimmick. So if they let them go back to that, because, you know, Triple H is like, he's in tune with, like, what people want, and so if they just go and talk to him and be like, hey, we want a different gimmick, or we're going to change up our gimmick back to what we used to be, can we do that? And if he says yes, then yeah, he'll do it, but it'll take time.
Remember back in the day before it got really popular, Hulk Hogan had to pay royalties for the Incredible Hulk. Also with War Machine, that's Marvel Universe. So I don't know if they want to be able to get money talks and everything walks. The licensing on that, they might not be able to use War Machine. Samurai. Just to throw it out there.
Well, I'm not saying that they can actually use the actual name, but like the wrestling persona, the wrestling gimmick, you know.
All right.
Like, nobody's in tune with the Viking thing, as Chef Dan says.
I never was in tune with them when they made their debut roster or their debut on the main roster before, and they came out banging their chest and yada yada yada. I never, like, got into it from the beginning. Like, I kind of tried, I guess, but I was like, I just couldn't get into it. Like, it's basically nothing. Like, they're Viking Raiders. There's nothing we can really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not-
yeah,
it's
I
not-
agree. Yeah, I agree with that. They fell into the category. Remember Ascension? Ascension was another one that just didn't
Right.
pop.
Perfect. There you go. There you go.
The Ascension.
The only Vikings I recognize are from Minnesota. Let's move on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We'll go now. We get to the women's. They added a women's title defense. Our champion, Liv Morgan, taking on Shotzi, and Shotzi getting an opportunity here. You know that Shotzi in NXT was phenomenal wrestler, hardcore. You could say a really woman, one of the hardcore ladies. And boy, Chef Dan, talk to me about these ladies. You know, especially at that hour of the night. You know, you seen that Viking Raider burn, and you're like, but then they show you they put a good women's match there. You're like, oh, okay, let's take a look.
It was a very, very good match. Especially when you like they preferenced it with the way that Liv's arm got attacked by Shayna Baszler last week. So you have that going, and then as soon as they end that, that recap of all the damage that Liv's arm taken, you see it to her, trying to stretch the kinks out, and like when they cut to the back of the stage promo for Shotzi, like she did everything perfect. It's just, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'm just a stickler for this. If there was just one thing I wish she would have said in regards to Liv, it's like Liv is out there trying to, defend this title with one arm, and then like some way and try and incorporate the term damaged goods. I think she'd have just threw that in there. I was looking for something like that, or then like, oh, that would have been something to help take it over the top to just, because Liv is over. She's over. She's extremely over. There's not much you can do. Like Liv is it right now. So Shotzi definitely had a chance to, really dig deep in that heel bag and just call her a name just before that. But all in all, I truly enjoyed the match. You saw that Liv was constantly compromised with the arm, but even though that arm was hurting, she still fought through, and it was a great match between her and Shotzi.
Yeah, absolutely on that. The match, Samurai, give me your thoughts on that match with Liv, and of course we see Liv retain the title, beating Shotzi there. I knew that she wasn't gonna lose that title, to Shotzi. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
well, I don't think it was a title match, but I think it was just a showcase match for Liv and seeing how she was doing with the arm. But like other than that, like she was, as Chad Dan said, was compromised in so many different ways. Like she couldn't really use the majority of her offense because of her arm. I don't know where they're going with Shotzi, but there was a report that she is going to get her tank back at some point.
That would be awesome.
Oh, nice.
In my opinion.
Yeah, and then I can't figure it out. I mean, I really don't know what else to say about that match. It was a good match. It was back and forth. It was hard fought. It was everything under the sun that most people would think, but like she won clean, which is good, but I feel like Shotzi needs something more to do,
Okay. Maybe she's not world title material there. I'm gonna throw a thought about that there. After the match, Liv stands proudly with her title, and then she gets attacked from behind by Shayna Baszler. Now, to me, I have a little bit of critique with this. We saw Shayna Baszler come out. Actually, that's Rousey. I thought I had Baszler's quote there. They look alike.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just had to say this really quick. Man, you quite malicious. Because for you to put that picture up literally while we're talking about this, and what did Liv Morgan say about Shayna Baszler last week?
She's just a wannabe.
She's just a bootleg Ronda Rousey. That's what she said.
Walmart version.
Yes, great value.
Great value. Hey.
But all in all, she had a chance to break her arm there, and and I understand you don't want to, you got to sell her making that, and if she keeps getting attacked, how the hell she's gonna wrestle? So she kicked her in the face. I was like, whoa, that actually was a little work for. I was like, oh, okay, but don't tease you're gonna break the arm there and not do it. That's kind of like, I think she didn't. She looked kind of weak instead of being a badass. Because last week she did the work on her arm, and you let Liv put her through a table, and then you let Liv just stand and smile, laughing at her. Like when you were just broken with a hand, you make sure the laser look kind of weakish. Tonight she looked more badass because with the kick in the face, just mushing her with a foot in the face, like, oh, Baylor, Shayna, you look like a real badass. You got your heat back. I thought I liked.
I thought you disagreed with
No.
I was about to say that was absolutely perfect.
Right.
Shayna Baszler pulling the absolute bully move, like the way she had Liv's arm and the way she jumped up. I kind of went back a little. I was like, ooh, if this goes wrong and she actually steps down, Liv's arm is done. Like she's probably out for a couple of months. And then Liv flinched. She laughed at her and then shoved her boot right in Liv's face. I was like, ooh. But what was really impressive to me was that while she had Liv's arm locked, the camera came in close enough so you could hear it. She goes, I could break your arm right now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to break your arm and take your title at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's gangster.
That's perfect.
That's about as gangster as Boba Fett does it.
That's perfect.
Exactly. That was phenomenal there. And back to the point I was talking about. We were talking about Shotzi, and you got it doesn't look like Shotzi's going to continue in the tag title run and so forth. That Shotzi, for everyone who's watching there and late at night, a little, for watching on you get a little eye candy. You get a little eye candy tonight. So here you go, courtesy of the Jedi Network. Now, do you think WWE should incorporate a women's mid-card title? I know everyone complains about AEW, 20 titles, but now that they have this great influx of women talent and you got the tag team tournament going there, maybe a women's mid-card title? What do you guys, women Intercontinental or women's United States champion? Okay, Samurai, you want to go?
Well,
Kind of quiet.
all right, well, I can see that, but at the same time, let's say they do that. Do you have it float across all three brands or both brands,
Yes.
or what do you do with it?
No, you do three. I think you do all three brands because just in case it gets stale where you don't have enough women, due to the reason you could still cross promote it. Just me. Guys, finish on that, Samurai. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, yeah, I agree with you on that. Like they should incorporate like a mid card title for the women. I mean, it only makes sense because like they're all the women they have on the roster right now. None of them are going to be world women's championship material per se. Or better yet, what they could do is they could rebrand the 24/7 title, like change it into something else. I mean, it's already on Dana Brooke, so just change that title around, make it something worth fighting for, and you can have that float across all three brands.
Yeah, I could see that there. Terrence, your thoughts on the mid card, and I want to send it over to Chef Dan on that.
It makes for more competition because there's more singles women on the roster. There are tag team women in the roster. Even though they have this tournament, they could just randomly put single women as a tag team. And there's my point right there. Singles women. You got more single competitors on the women's roster than you do the tag team as a tag team. So it's a good idea. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. More opportunities.
More opportunities, absolutely. Shit, and then you get to see a little more Shotzi.
Get to see Shotzi, Sasha, Raquel, Naomi, all that eye candy. Maybe
Chef
even
Dan.
Nikkita one day.
Ooh.
I'm not opposed to that at all, but I would do it carefully though, because in the same note, what you don't want is I think part of the reason why we're enjoying the amount of women coming up through the WWE, through NXT, and where, you know, how they're getting it is, I think the talent level is rising, but also because they know that there's enough competition to keep all of them honest. So I would just be like, you know, I'm more than okay with it, but just, you know, to start like trying to do an influx of a multitude of titles, I wouldn't be okay with just that. Like, we already have the women's Smackdown Women's Raw Championship. I'm not opposed to a United States Women's title. I'm not opposed to a Women's Intercontinental title, another singles title. I'm not opposed to that as well.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, because you know you make a tournament. I'd say you make a tournament similar to the way they do the tag title and of course then now you could bring women up from, and then you telling me at the finals tournament you have this here at the end and she's gonna win this for you, Terrence. I know you joined. Terrence is a big fan of Nikkita Lyons.
Lord have mercy.
I'm not mad at him for being a fan of her.
Look at her. I must confess though, Sasha is my number one girl, but she's not here right now. So Nikkita is my girl.
I was a little upset to hear that she wasn't competing tonight. I'm a fan of Nikkita Lyons too. It's great in ring ability.
See the gun? She got
Say again?
some potential.
Yeah,
she got some potential.
Lots of potential.
Let's one more time. There you go. You're telling me, that's you're gonna fight her in the finals.
Because look, as far
against her.
Well, I mean, we already know who's gonna win. It's Nikkita, but Nikkita, like, as far as just like not just her eye candy, but like she's like, I don't say really good in the ring, but she has a good background, like as far as like martial arts and stuff like that. So, you know, she already has some like kind of like incorporated fighting style within her. It just takes more, you know, more progression from her part, and from like just kind of working with WWE and like trying to build in her character and stuff like that, you know. But still, you wouldn't want to run into her in a women's title tournament at all. I feel sorry for anybody who's, you know, that's smaller than her. I just say that.
All right, so we shall see. Hopefully, they might put a mid card women's title. I've been saying that. I said it about NXT. They need that as well. And I know you said not too many titles and so forth, but I mean one in mid card women's title in for both SmackDown and Raw, and one in NXT. That now that NXT, you know, is merging with the NXT UK, or we don't know if that's official, but it looks like it, or NXT Europe. And the talent's going to be observed. We shall see later coming down the road. I personally am a favorite. You know me, I like the women's wrestling. They bring it, and they tell a story. They're actually a little more entertaining at times than the men at times, but to me, there has a place for it. So we'll see with this. Let's see how the tag team tournament goes, and if that tag team titles continue to be irrelevant, not fall in the wayside of board or the way it was prior. And let's see how that goes. And maybe there is a chance for a mid-card title. I think personally I would love to see it. You know, you got a women's champion, and give me some, you know, so like you said, it won't be crowded. So you don't keep getting, you know, Becky, because how are you going to tell me these young ladies that are up are going to get over a Becky Lynch, you know, or Bianca Belair, you know, or, you know, and so Rhea Ripley who got next.
Before she got hurt, which I was like, I wasn't extremely upset about that, because she was supposed to fight Bianca.
Yes.
And then she got hurt legitimately, and then it's just like, oh man, what if, you know? There's still potential, but
it's crazy potential, because if there was anyone that I thought, and I'm gonna sound like such a fan right now. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. I just gotta. Yeah. I didn't really want Bianca Belair to lose the title, but if there was anyone I saw them having her to relinquish that title to,
same.
It would have been Rhea Ripley.
Me too.
I was scared for Bianca Belair's title run. When I was like, oh man, come on now. Bianca's so good. And then you put her up against this buzzsaw, and like Rhea is a buzzsaw.
And then they substitute her for Carmella. And I'm like, of all people, I'm like, Carmella?
And
like,
not for nothing, Carmella
good anyway. She's good.
She bought it though. She bought it though.
Yeah.
She bought it, but it wasn't believable.
Right, exactly. It's not real. It wasn't real.
But it wasn't money.
Exactly. Yes, it wasn't paper. It was glue. It was the ones that jingle, not the one that folds.
Yep.
Yeah. So we move on here to the final segment of the night shift. Samurai, anything you want to bring? Before I move on your thoughts on that, on the mid card titles. Did you get a chance to speak on that?
No. I mean, I agree with everything that everybody said. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Like, I just don't think that it's gonna happen anytime soon.
Okay.
It'll be more meaning behind it, you know.
The thing is, though, I mean, they just released like a bunch of people from NXT UK.
12 in total. Yes.
Well, yeah, 12 people from NXT UK, which they could have prevented that by bringing them either to NXT, you know, in the States over here, or putting them on the main roster. Like, now they're all out of a job until NXT Europe.
Yes.
Whenever that happens, unless because I know they're gonna hire them back, obviously, because they know why they were fired. They were not that they didn't do anything wrong, so they can come back if they choose to.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, and they released a bunch of they released a good tag team in Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, which they could have used them on the main roster too. They had an influx of teams and tag teams and stuff like that, and women they could have used on the main roster. But, you know, with the impending closure of NXT UK,
the tag teams, I don't know if I agree with that 100%, because right now there's a limit to how much tag teams you can have while the belts are unified.
Well, I mean, yes, that's true. But what I mean by that is like, well, you're right about that. I mean, what I was going for was like they have more tag teams that can wrestle, you know, actually wrestle. That's what I meant by that. I mean, like, other than that, like, I'm not really too hurt about it. I mean, they did let go of like 1/3 of Mustache Mountain, which is horrible. Trent Seven. Now it's just Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, but he's not going anywhere since he's a champ. So,
I mean, the tag team will be. I think that WWE, the main roster needs it right now, but. As far as just like tag teams in general, I think it'll be good for instead of those released stars to just be released and not do anything, instead of just like, you know, as you said, they'll like eventually be hired again. Just to just go to NXT, like the actual NXT, and not NXT UK and NXT Europe. Just go to the actual brand, and then just because they need more teams down there too. They got a few down there already, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have more competition.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I said this on Wednesday when we did the NXT, or Wednesday when we did the NXT review. Triple H, what he wants to do is he wants to, you know, do a global takeover. He still wants to. That's still his mentality. That's why instead of the UK, it's going to be in Europe now, because Europe is more renowned, more well known than the United Kingdom is. So what they're doing is, I believe this is what Triple H's mindset and his thoughts are. He's making it so much more easier for the European independent circuit to want to come to the WWE if that's what they want to do. So, like, maybe in the next couple of years, you hear about him wanting to expand in Japan. or even the Philippines or some places like that. He can do it. That's his mentality. That's his mindset. That's what he wants to do. So that's Does anybody else have anything that they want to say about that? Because I think I'm on to something here.
No, you're good. You're on a roll. You're on a roll with that. No rebuttals on that. You can see that in your NXT India. How big and yeah, that was his main goal, to globalize it. And I think McMahon put a hold. I think he wasn't ready to invest yet in that, but now with Triple H, that might happen. Yeah, tip there.
I mean,
I just want to add to that, like what you guys are saying. It really sounds like history is repeating itself, not in the sense of like this exactly verbatim, this is how it went, but like when Vince started to buy up all the other territories and all the other companies, because he wanted, it wasn't just like he wanted a stranglehold. Those guys couldn't keep up with Vince. So some guys naturally just come over, and at a certain point, when you're building that much of a rapport with this much people, and they're like, hey, they keep telling me like, hey, we have an audience back home that loves us. We can pop, and there's different avenues of money you can make. It's like, well, why not go global? This would be doing the same thing he did in the U.S. when he decided to buy up all the territories, but it's on a global scale. So history is just repeating itself like that.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not.
No,
it's a good thing for all wrestling fans and wrestlers involved, because they have a place to go. Like, but again, I do think that I said this on Wednesday as well, that he could potentially want to work with Tony Khan. Like, even though it's not really competition, because it's not, it's leagues beyond, but he could want to, we could see a cross promotion, cross television network style deal as far as that goes. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that, even though I don't like AEW, but
yeah, I could see that there. We'll see. We'll finish. Let's wrap this up and we'll do a little freestyle. We have the Roman Reigns segment addressing Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out. No one there to back him up. And, of course, Drew McIntyre getting a little real, mentioning about not being there all the time to defend his title, not worthy. Roman pushing back, like, you carry the company. I'm the one who's the face, and I've done, and I like the back and forth exchange between these two guys, ultimately heading into some fisticuffs, where Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere and he takes the Claymore to the mouth. Does that buy him brownie points for Roman, or are they still a joke in your eyes, Terrence?
I mean, we're talking about Drew McIntyre here. I mean, guys, it's Drew McIntyre. But on the other hand, it's the tribal chief. It's Roman Reigns, head of the table. I mean, I don't got to go through the whole thing, and the shtick.
There you go.
Honestly, like what we just there you go. What we just kind of like talking about earlier in the segment, as far as just Drew being, I don't say being him fed to Roman, because there's a storyline also within the storyline, because he still has to low key, like in the back of his mind, he's still thinking about carrying across, but he's almost mainly still on the universal title picture. And obviously, like you said, it's kind of, I don't say spoil the result, but you already know what's going to happen, basically. So like, as far as just him being fed, I don't think it's him being fed to Roman in that sense. I just think it's well, maybe essentially it can be, but as far as just like you have Karrion Kross there, so that's another X factor for Drew, not Roman. Roman, maybe eventually down the line they might have something more, but Drew, it's like something the crowd is paying attention to, in the universe we're paying attention to that. But it seems like Drew is not really paying attention to it all as much. He's focused on the title, as he should. But that promo being a little bit more intense and just calling him out and saying, he's here every week and he's not really the face of the company, yada, yada, yada. And all this nonsense, and then to have a third party enter it to kind of like make it neutral a little bit. I mean, I enjoyed it, but Drew, I think I don't want to say. I think I'm tired, honestly. Just to go on a little like kind of tangent here, like I'm a little tired of the whole. And I'm glad he got rid of the sword thing because it was going dry for me, honestly. I'm kind of tired of this like face Drew. I'm like I'm more so of the. It has nothing against him. It's just the character that he's portraying. Like, yeah, it was cool for him to like. We were all excited when he first won the Rumble. He eliminated Brock Lesnar, and then he went on to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and stuff like that. And he had his little run with Bobby Lashley and stuff like that. And to me, like once after that, it just felt like he was. Yeah, we knew he wasn't in the title picture for years, but it felt like he was already in the title picture for years and years and years, at least to me. So it's just like, maybe kind of take him out of the title picture after this feud. Maybe put him in the mid card, or maybe like just like change him heel, and then also maybe kind of like build him up back to that place, but don't do it right away. Like I thought for a moment, and I'm sorry to keep going on like about it, but I thought for a moment there. I thought for a moment there because they kind of like kept him out of the title picture. If I recall, if I'm not wrong, they kept him out of the title picture for a little minute. But I don't think it was that. I don't feel like it was that long. I think it should have been a little bit longer because it still feels stale. Like the whole babyface Drew McIntyre character is still stale to me right now. And then like he just needs a refresh, in my opinion. Either that, or he just needs to be off TV for a while or something, or maybe go down to NXT, just kind of like, do something a little different.
You just want to see.
I mean, no, but like, well, yeah, but like, just, he needs something like, to me, a little bit more refreshing, I'm tired of it, but as far as just him calling Roman out in that segment there, the segment itself, it was pretty good, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a little long-winded on that, but
No, that was fine. It's fine. Let me go with this. His title run. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't invested. I stopped watching WWE really strong when he won the title. I totally was disconnected. And it's just the Thunderdome, no crowd. It just took me off. No, and I saw his title run. I associate me not watching it no more. And it's not because he was a bad in-ring performer. I don't know. There's something that to me he doesn't captivate me. I don't know. Maybe you said maybe a heel or the face. I don't know, something about him. But I do like one thing I do want to say about him. His facial expressions when in Money in the Bank when Theory comes out and it was Theory, he was he just smelled someone farted in his nose. That face, I appreciate from him, but. This promo was good. Samurai, what's your thoughts on promo? I want to give it to Chef Dan so we can move it on. Yeah.
The whole promo was good. I mean the realism that they brought into it was it brought a sense of urgency. We all know that Roman Reigns may or may not lose the title to Drew McIntyre, but like I said before, we also have the caveat of Austin Theory along with Karrion Kross. So where it goes, it's kind of up in the air. It's kind of like it's everywhere. You don't know what's going to happen until you see it happen. But as far as like Sami Zayn getting kicked in the face, he actually he got kicked in the face, but at the same time, it does earn him some favor with Roman Reigns. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but when he came out, he has a sling on his arm.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Good observation.
Yeah, he had a sling on his arm, so I'm pretty sure he's either legitimately hurt or he's selling it as good as he possibly can.
I'm probably selling it. Chef Dan, your thoughts on that promo? And by now, good observation there, Samurai. By the way.
Overall, the promo was great for what it was. When you realistically look at it, I know you guys said that he got a little personal with Roman, but realistically, if I'm a guy and I'm like, I just put myself in the shoes of Drew McIntyre and I gotta cut a promo on Roman Reigns, What else am I gonna say? You haven't been here.
True.
You're not here all the time, so you can't represent the company like that. In your matches, you get the Usos to do stuff for you, or you get Paul Heyman to do stuff for
Nothing
you,
wrong with that.
or you get Sami Zayn to do stuff for you. Like we know, when a corporate champion is in place, they have little little mechanisms used to help secure their title run. And so Drew McIntyre is saying what he said. It didn't feel like it was personal to me. If anything, listening to it, it made me, number one, because I didn't get to, like you, Jedi, I didn't watch WWE during the Thunderdome era, but that was primarily because the pandemic, it took my attention so much, and I just ended up watching old basketball. That's what I did during the pandemic. And I just disassociated. Like you said, as soon as the live crowd isn't there, it kind of took away a little bit of that experience.
Yeah.
But now that I'm watching Drew McIntyre, and like you said, the little facial expressions that he makes, all these little things, like, even though he's a face right now, you said he's a boring face, but he still has his entertaining moments as a face. Him doing the dancing with New Day, I never saw that from Drew McIntyre before.
That's true.
But see, these are the things that, like, it now makes me wish I paid attention to the Thunderdome, because if I paid attention, I would have seen the new Drew McIntyre that came out, the Drew McIntyre that's evolving in front of our eyes every day, and I would have been like, I'd have been much more appreciative of what I'm getting right now, because it's crazy that you say, like, that is your first image of Drew McIntyre. My first image of Drew McIntyre was when he first came, when he was the chosen one, when Vince McMahon was really, like, rolling out the carpet for him, and he was terrible.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Literally. No, yeah, he was. You're right.
So now to see him making all these monumental changes, like, for him to know how to play to the camera and make these facial expressions, because your face tells a story. You can dance with the New Day and, like, you can twerk with them. That's fine. It doesn't make you look any silly. It gives you a new dimension to yourself. I'm appreciative of who Drew McIntyre is, and that kind of makes me excited for Clash at the Castle, because I know Karrion Kross, like you guys said, like it like what you said, Terrence, as far as, like, him being fed to Roman, I don't agree with that. It's not him being fed to Roman, but you know Roman is gonna leave out of there with the title because Karrion is gonna do what he does. My whole thing is, like, after that match, what becomes of Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross? Could it be possibly that they have a rivalry that extends into a tag team partnership where Karrion Wednesday puts that hourglass in front of the Usos, and you have Drew and Karrion Kross versus the Usos for a united title? Because that would be an interesting matchup. I would love to see, like, as far as promotion-wise, what depths do these two guys take themselves to in relation to Karrion and Drew? So overall, just watching that whole back and forth with Drew and Roman, if anything, it highlighted to me the progress that Drew has made in his career.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting take on that there. For Drew, for Clash of the Castles. It's going to be fun for us next week. Or another 2 weeks from now, it's going to be a hectic trip then, because Saturday is going to be the Clash of the Castle. Then Sunday we will be on Worlds Collide. Although we don't know the name of the event for NXT, but we'll probably be there live, and that we're going to be really up and round busy with that. Interesting there with it. That was the SmackDown review there for SmackDown. That was a good. All in all, the show was phenomenal. I loved it. You know, it had its cool down moments. Indeed, the Viking Raider funeral, Hit Row, and what overall, Terrence, your thoughts of the whole show?
More so Viking Raiders. For the. I think I would have preferred the. I think I preferred the Fugees over the Viking Raiders.
La la la.
Just a little bit. And that's not saying much, but still, I mean, but SmackDown, bro. I'm telling you, ever since Triple H took over, everything across all platforms, it may not have been spectacular or phenomenal just yet, but it's a lot of improvement since since the game, since Papa H, as they like to call him, has taken over creative. It's been a lot of, like you said, every week ever since Triple H took it over, we're excited for what's to come, what's already has happened, and what's to come, and it's insane, dude. It's insane. I'm glad Vince is at the door though.
No, it's an improvement there. Let me ask you guys a quick. No, not one more. Won't stay on too long. Anything you're looking upcoming forward, story wise, with all across the board, or any of the promotions, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, any news or notes or anything that you're looking forward to going forward. Samurai, I know you were mentioning about the talents being released. 12 NXT UK talent were released. But by the way, I did just see their SmackDown pictures released. Anybody there you see that wasn't on their roster? They updated this. So I don't know how true
Alba Fire.
this is.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Alba Fire, and who's it?
You see Naomi and Sasha.
Sasha, Alba Fire,
Alba
Fire, Sasha, and Charlotte, and Naomi, and beat that.
I literally don't see anybody. I don't see anybody. I don't.
But what I see weird there, I don't see Raquel and Aaliyah, but then you see them. They look like they're gonna move them over to Raw, and also you see Indy Hartwell.
Where'd you get these pictures from?
Twitter, the US WWE.
Oh, Twitter.
But it was WWE though. It was WWE.
Okay.
I make sure, because sometimes, unless it was, you know what, I didn't check if it was a blue check mark though. I just saw WWE and I downloaded it. So
you really can't trust that kind of those kind of
right.
But I mean, other than the NXT UK thing, apparently CM Punk's upset with AEW again, so that's the thing.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Was it your first time?
Yeah.
Well,
oh wow.
Well, I don't keep away AEW like that, so I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know he's there. That's all.
I don't care for AEW. Like I've stated in the past, because it's just basically WCW on steroids. I mean, there's really nothing new. I didn't see the ratings for Raw though. I didn't see the ratings for Raw at all. So I think they did like a 1.9 or something.
I thought it was in the 2.
I've seen the ratings I've seen the ratings for NXT last week.
9.7 something.
Yeah, I think it was like the highest since I don't know if it was last year, 2021 or 2020 or something like that. But it's been a while. It's been a minute. So that's saying something for NXT just itself.
I think that as far as
like
NXT goes, I think that they just need to focus on them and not trying to be competition to AEW. That's the only thing I think that should happen. And once Triple H gets to the main roster where he needs to be, I think he will go down there in NXT and fix NXT. But I also saw somewhere that Shawn Michaels is the VP of Talent Relations,
Vice President of Talent Relations. We got a promotion, well deserved. On there, and they're putting their imprint, their thumbprint. That's why we saw Toxic Attraction stepping in there. We're gonna see the talent from NXT slowly but surely goes up, and they will come up and they'll make their impact, their mark on there, and we'll be here to cover it. Guys, it's gonna be almost 1, so we want to end the video, the segment here. I want to thank you guys for joining me late here this evening and staying. Those that are watching with us, thank you for joining us this evening. It's going to be Saturday morning, but man, it was fun talking SmackDown. When SmackDown has these kind of cards and there's something to give us, it's exciting to come on and talk and just have a conversation with you guys. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Give me your final thoughts. Samurai will go to Terrence, then Chef Dan will close it up, and we'll plug the ratio, the video, and we'll get going.
I mean, SmackDown was a good show, like it has been for the past 3 weeks. You know, no complaints here.
Yeah, man. SmackDown was incredible, dude. Like, you know, I'm always SmackDown overall. I love the entire product in general, but I've always been a SmackDown guy. And just to see how it has, you know, it's progressed, I'm loving it, man.
All right.
A overall grade I want to give it is a B+ to an A-. I kind of have to, you know, subtract due to the Viking funeral. That was boo-boo. And then, I don't know, Hit Squad, Hit Row. They should have just let Tekashi 6ix9ine perform. That would have been a lesser way. But I just like, hey, what I'm excited of is the fact that, you know, I've been watching a lot of Triple H interviews outside of the, you know, when he wants to talk about his plan for the company. And when he talks, it's like you hear that the company is going in the right direction because, like, it's not about the moves in the ring for him. Like, the moves in the ring are important, but what is the story that he's telling us so that we can all enjoy and go along for the ride? And if that's the most important thing to him, I think this business goes far, very, very far. And we saw that he was already leaving his imprint to where, like, people from all different ages now want to watch wrestling because he really started this ever since the pandemic. He started this during the pandemic and reshaped it. So I'm totally excited. I'm here for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown from now on. Let's go.
Indeed. So with that said, thank you guys, my panel, everyone in the chat, everybody viewing. Hit that like, subscribe. If you ain't down with the Heal the Ring podcast, we have 2 words for you. Just subscribe. So we'll see you guys.
Samurai and Chef Dan and Jedi, real quick. You know what everybody else is compared to us?
What's that?
They the twos, and we the
ones.
Yes, indeed. Good night, folks.
I'm awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab it bad, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change.